ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Just a second. I'm just trying to share the thing.
Hari Om Shah.
Riom, I'm just trying to share the questions. Yeah, I already say it. Mahesh, you have to minimize me and see the thing because you are seeing on your phone. First
Okay, thank you so much.
first question is by Mahesh. So of course he can't answer this question. In case he has answer to that also, it's okay. Swamiji talks of karma, bhakti, jnana, yogas and says it is the same. How are they the same? And how does one practice them to lead an ideal life?
I have no idea.
Arjun.
Swamiji, the Karma Yoga is the path of doing action, whereas the Bhakti Yoga is a devotional thing, and Jnana Yoga is related to the path of wisdom. And whatever the path is, the ultimate ideal is to reach the Brahman. So all for me it is all roads lead to thee. So this is my understanding.
Yeah. Mahesh, you have answered to your own question.
For me, as rightly said, uh, what I feel is we can integrate the three in our daily actions, like performing our duty. We can do the karma without expecting the results of it, but we should perform our duty. We cannot become a sage. Forgetting all our duties and just going to forest or somewhere else. Definitely we have got to do our karma, and at the same time with a devotion towards God in the sense, what I mean is towards the higher purpose in life. When we don't expect the result, we dedicate our devotion to the ultimate creator, whom we can describe as God or whom we can describe as energy or whatever. So that becomes the devotional aspect of life. And Jnanam is the intellectual aspect of life, where we lead life with an intellectual capacity. Uh, so obviously, I think these three aspects are one and the same and are to be integrated, rather to be looked separately, has different paths leading to the ultimate. These are all to be incorporated in oneself to reach the ultimate.
Okay.
That is my understanding, Swami.
Okay.
I wanted to have more little deeper understanding, clear understanding.
Okay. So all three are the same in the sense all three lead to evolution for a person to evolve more and more. So what is evolution? Today we have our own selfish desires. To refine our desires to go to higher and higher levels, to refine the desires and go to higher and higher levels is called evolution. Now, we have three main equipments with which we function. We have the physical body with which we execute actions. We have the mind that feels various emotions. And we have the intellect with which we think. So, what is combined practices? You practice at all three levels: at the physical level, emotional level, and intellectual level. A lot of people only practice one. If somebody is into devotional practice, the person doesn't practice jnanam or karma. Or a person who's a karma yogi only practices karma. So, what Swami says is all three have to be practiced. Just as when you go to the gym, if you keep on doing only upper body exercises, the lifting and all those things, the lower body, you don't do anything. What happens? You can't walk after some time. Why? Because upper body is so heavy that the lower body cannot take it. So, therefore, all similarly, so all full body has to be exercised, stretched. Similarly, all three aspects have to be considered. Now, so what is karma yoga? When we function in life, we function selfishly. We do actions for the sake of ourselves or for our family, maximum to the level of the family. When you expand your vision and ideal to include a larger circle and start performing action towards that, it's called karma yoga. You can go to your workplace saying, what can I get out of this company? You can go to your workplace and saying, how will I go and execute my actions for the sake of the company? Becomes unselfish. So it's called karma yoga. Simply put, in every aspect of life, your interest is after you. Anybody, no? After you, after you. This sort of a attitude. It's called karma yoga. Bhakti yoga is at the level of the mind, which has a lot of feelings. Your feeling should expand to include a larger circle. So how do you make the quality of a feeling better? That is why they have given these devotional practices. You can think of a particular god and your emotions can flow towards it. The prayers, the chanting, the bhajan singing, all these are devotional practices. So when you do that, what happens? You're acknowledging a higher power. You're acknowledging a God. So in that sense, because you're not thinking of yourself, you're thinking of something higher, the emotion, desires for one's own self and family, the emotions that come down. That is called Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga is gaining knowledge. Today, our focus is on gaining knowledge of the world. It is also necessary. Nobody is saying you should not have it. You should have knowledge of your field. You should know what all is happening in the field. So that's why we go to a school or university or a college for 16 years we study to gain information on the world. This jnana is the constant thinking on the scriptures. All the scriptures are given, even this e-learning course that we are doing. That is all jnana. So when your intellect is held aloft in higher thoughts, then it will slowly start dropping the lower thoughts. So listening to the scriptures, studying the scriptures, making your notes and whatever it is. And how do you practice it in your real life? The definition that is given for jnanam is, which is in Bhajagovindam, nitya, anitya, viveka, vichara. Constant analysis of what is permanent and impermanent in life. So, hold on to the permanent, leave the impermanent. If you go to a job, go for not the salary, but the work satisfaction that you get. That's more permanent. Because salary, next month only, after a few months, you want an increment. So, does the job fit in your profile or whatever? Is it more satisfying for you to do? Are you making a difference? When you get married to a person, all three of you are, no, all of four of us are not qualified because you're already married. When you get married to somebody, don't go by the beauty, go by the character, more permanent. Understand? When you are going to sign up with a partner in your business, go by their character, not by whether they have the money to support you or is a high flying person. Don't do that. So, in every aspect of life, look at the permanent aspect. You drop the impermanent and choose the permanent. So, if you keep on doing it in life, then finally what will happen? Everything in life is impermanent. The God principle, the self, whatever they talk, it's the most permanent. So, you will choose that. So, when you integrate also at the level of actions, you go and do it like a seva. You go and work for your company, do it like a seva. When you are selling bricks, give the best quality, Mahesh. That's what you have to do.
Yes, Swami, thank you.
That is your business. So take care of the client, take care of your employees. This is called seva, karma yoga. Bhakti yogas, any devotional practice, chanting or bhajans or singing or whatever it is. The highest is to be aware of the fact that so many things are provided for you. Who provided it? From the time you are born, oxygen supply is given, maintained. Who gave the oxygen supply? Nature provided it, isn't it? The moment you're born, mother's milk is given. Who provided for it? There is some unknown providence providing for everything. Every moment, whatever junk we put in our body, it digests and beautifully distributes part of the body. You're not doing it. Some power is enabling you to do it. So like that, there are millions of things that you're enjoying. If the temperature in the body goes up by a 0.1%, they say you're not well. 98.6 it has to be. What is the thermostat in the body that's maintaining your temperature, irrespective of what's outside temperature? There is something beautifully maintaining it. What's it? So when you are aware of all these provisions and the unknown God or divinity that is providing it, you get devotion. Then comes knowledge. Nitya, Anitya, Viveka, Vichara. Analyze the permanent and impermanent aspects of life. So then it takes you to this sort of this is how the path goes. Karma, Bhakti, Jnana, Yoga should be practiced together. For which you will have to analyze your personality. Take 100 actions. How active you are, how emotional you are, and how much intellectual you are. If you're active, say 50% of the times, and emotional 30% of the times, and intellectual 20% of the times, this is how your spiritual practice also should be. 50% practice karma yoga, 20% bhakti, 30% bhakti, 20% jnana. Then when you do that, you will get rid of most of your worldly desires. Then the mind withdrawal means it's not the mind is there, but it will not go into the world without your permission. That's called mental withdrawal, called uparati. Then you can focus on the God principle. Generally, it's called concentration. Then very, very specifically, which is called single pointed concentration, called meditation. Then you reach the state of enlightenment, which is what everybody is seeking to the spiritual path. This is a broad outline. Any questions?
What is that single pointed this thing you have mentioned, Swamiji?
Single pointed concentration is called meditation. In other words, when you focus on one mantra that is given to you, if you are able to, mind is able to focus on that, say Om, without slipping from it. That's called single pointed concentration. That's called meditation. The definition of meditation is focusing, the intellect focuses a mind on a single thought to the exclusion of all other thoughts. Now, when we close our eyes, there are multiple thoughts that are running, isn't it? So just focus on one thought, which is possible only when you can generally concentrate, which is possible only when the mind is available, which is only possible when you have so much of practices. Now the mind is running like in thousands of directions, isn't it? So therefore, the whole idea is disciplining the mind through the yogas, bringing it to a point where it doesn't have worldly desires, so doesn't run. So such a mind that is available is generally used for concentration on your activities, then meditation, then enlightenment. Yep. Any other questions? not. Question 2. Prabhu is the questioner. Swamiji says objectivity develops peace and composure. The opposite of objectivity is attachment. He also mentions you pursue your passion with Shraddha in any field you excel in it as you develop wisdom. How can someone pursue one's passion without attachment and be objective? For example, Tendulkar, who is very passionate in playing cricket, can he play without attachment? I thought passion and attachment are directly proportional. Answers?
Swami,
Yes, Mahesh.
I have a small doubt, Swami, if I
Yes,
am not
please.
interrupting you.
Huh? Sorry?
Swami, can I ask a question?
Please.
Swami, what it is all about uh, a state of the mind.
Yeah,
Whatever we are speaking now, what I feel is basically comes to our understanding of the mind and our state of mind, and developing a higher level of consciousness is directly related to our level of thinking.
correct.
So it is all about the mind and this thing, Swami, or
Yes.
so this enlightenment, whatever we call, is it everything just related to our state? Just
It's all correct. It's all the state of the mind only.
okay,
Nothing
okay.
has to be done. It is just the preparation of the mind. That's all. Nothing else.
Mhm. So the higher we think, the greater we include the entirety of the universe inside our thinking, and inside our conscious thinking. So the directly proportional is our intensity of life, and the way we lead our life.
Correct. Correct.
Thank you, sir.
But the thing is, the mind's preparation requires so much. That is why so much of inputs is given to handle the mind. Because the mind, you know how it plays tricks with
Yes.
everybody. That's the
For
problem.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
One more doubt, for me.
Yes, please.
For me, it is said that there is a common notion that the mind can only be trained using any method.
Okay.
So, is it true, Swami, that the mind needs to be trained through any one of the methods, like focusing on our breath, or meditation?
You
So, the
can't.
mind is hugely complex, and whatever we try to achieve, the mind always has a shortcut to overcome it and obstruct it. Uh, so, people usually say methods are employed to bring the mind to a higher state of consciousness.
So the method that Vedanta employs is education. You are educating the mind on the higher values. So you bring the mind under supervision of the intellect by education, not by controlling it, not by stifling it. See, if you're asked to focus on a breath, it is impossible for you to focus on a breath because your mind will run everywhere. So you are forcing the mind to be there. You can't meditate because you can't keep to a single thought. The mind just goes everywhere in the thing. Why everybody says meditation? Because when you have closed your eyes, nobody knows what you're doing. You have to say, you close your eyes, it's gone somewhere. So what Vedanta says, educate the mind. So intellect has to first learn the higher values and slowly educate the mind. Then the mind will change its course. See, mind is like the child in us. The intellect is like the adult in us. The adult has to take care of the child. Because a child doesn't know what it's doing. Similarly, the mind doesn't know what it's doing. So the Vedantic method is to say, educate yourself. When you're educating yourself, if you still want to get into those practices, do it where it doesn't suppress the mind so that it will break. It's okay if you want to practice those things, it's fine. But it is through education.
So when you say educate your mind, like let's say assume like if I if I'm meditating with like one single verse, like, and at some point of time, if I lose focus and my mind is thinking uh, multiple thoughts, so you are just trying to educate yourself, just focus on that one verse. Don't.
No, 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 no. Education is teaching the general values. Whatever you're studying every day, that's what it is. We are not trying to say focus the mind. Keep the focus on the thing to educate the mind. That's not the idea. Education
Yeah.
means all the values that you're learning, right, in the Vedanta till now,
Mm-hmm.
as you understand it more and more clearer, so when the mind is, say, suddenly the mind is wanting to have something, you know, you have decided today that I'll not have it. You're disciplining yourself, right? Then you tell the mind, this is what we said. No, we wanted to do this for the good of ourselves. So don't do it. So this is what is called education. Not to keep the mind in one thought. It's not possible to do that. You will reach that state at some point, which is meditation.
Okay. I
In
mean, so
constant activities of life. In other words, you are educating the mind. If you think of yourself, you will be agitated. Then you practice thinking of a larger set of people, you find that you are more peaceful. Now you educate the mind. See, this is what is happening. When you're thinking of a larger thing and you're working, there's no agitation. So why do you want to be agitated? So think of a larger cause. So this is called education.
okay. So back to the same question. So when you say meditating center of concentration,
Mm.
so uh, are you saying that like over the period of time you will develop that focus and
Correct.
then
Correct.
okay,
It's an advanced stage of spiritual practice, meditation, not to be done now.
okay.
Any other questions?
So, Swami, basically put the Vedanta aspect is to develop the intellect through constant learning, daily disciplined learning of higher values, and in association with enlightened people or learned people who are intellectually above level.
Correct.
So these
Correct.
two has already we have said these two are the basic requirements from Vedanta aspect to develop one's way of life.
Correct. And also to practice it. You said, no, I want to go and do seva. See, this is also educating the mind also, no? Now you go and work for yourself, you find that when you do that, there's so much of competition, you get agitated. Now when you do it as a service, you find the mind is more at rest, isn't it? So you educate the mind after the day, See, today it was so good because I thought of a larger interest, right? So practice, as you're studying, you should also practice the karma and bhakti also, the devotional practices, whichever inspires you, and the seva mentality, attitude when you're working. Is it clear, Mahesh?
Yes, Swami. Thank you, Swami.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Arjun, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Can a seeker, whenever she is doing one job or one action, his mind strays to multiple thoughts while doing that activity, bring that mind back to its work. Should that practice be done uh, right now itself, or is it that after gaining the knowledge, it has to happen automatically?
So your question is, when the mind is wavering, even when I'm in a particular activity, should I bring it under control or is it suppression, right? Is your question? It's not suppression.
Yes.
Now, because it's a general activity, it's a general thing. You go to work, you need to be aware of what is your staff who's at the admin doing, what is the guy who's offloading the stuff doing. You should be aware of everything. So it's a general field of activity in which you have to concentrate. Now, in this, if you find the mind at that point of time thinking of your children, then you should bring it back consciously. So this is a generic practice. This will not be a problem. Only if you keep the mind to one thought and bring it back, that's suppression. So this is the education. What is education? Earlier you were not aware of the fact that the mind is going everywhere. Now with Vedantic knowledge and all the knowledge, now you understand, oh, when I am doing a particular activity, the mind is going on. Now this awareness has come, right? Now you also need to understand that if I don't keep the mind here, I'll not be productive. So then you bring it back. Okay, I am supposed to do this activity. Why am I allowing the mind to go astray?
Okay, sir.
So that's not wrong. Any other questions? Okay, now let's get back to Prabhu's question. Any answers?
Swami.
Yeah, yes, Mahesh.
In fact, it seems the opposite. It's not objectivity and attachment are just when you're objective. In fact, the attachment loses.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is what is asking. So how is it possible for me to practice objectivity? Because if I don't have a passion, why will I be in the particular field? So how can I practice objectivity there? This is question.
Yeah.
Because Swamiji seems to say if you practice objectivity only, you'll be peaceful.
Yes. Yes, Swami. Yes.
That is his question. Yeah.
Yes, Swami. So, so as we said earlier, we do our work with an intellectual understanding that it is not for our own selfish need. It is for a higher living or for the entire world. We are not selfish. When we intellectually apply ourselves, we understand this very basically. So then what happens is we just do the work, what we love to do. We don't expect the results within certain conditions that, okay, I'm putting so much effort, so much output I should receive. Let it be business, let it be love, let it be relationship, let it be anywhere in the world. This can be applied. So then we are not the bothered about the end result or the fruit of our action,
Okay.
and we love doing it. So when we don't expect the result, there is no attachment in it. That is how I understand it, Swami.
Okay. 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 Arjun.
So Vijay, objectivity is working or just doing uh, for the sake of work, whereas attachment is something doing it very in a selfish manner. What can I gain it from this action? What is going to serve me? So yes, it is opposite of objectivity is opposite of attachment. 1 minute for me. When we start to do work without having any expectation, just doing work for work's sake, we will have no attachment to the result or whatever it is, and thereby we'll be happy and peaceful. So this is my understanding.
Okay. Now, understand this. If there is no desire in the beginning stage of a spiritual path, if there is no desire, if there is no passion, you can't do anything, because desire only leads to action, isn't it? If we don't know. So therefore, desire, passion, sentiment, emotion, these are not objected to by Vedanta or for any matter, for anything, because that's the nature of the mind. But becoming passionate, where it takes control of your life, becoming emotional, which takes control of your life, becoming sentimental, which takes control of you, overwhelms you. That is what is objected to, right? So therefore, without desires, you can't function. But when we function with desire, what happens is, like what you said, because the intellect is not, we don't even know that there is mind and intellect in our life. So therefore, the mind gets attached without the intellectual supervision. So what is objectivity? Definition of objectivity: intellect controlling the mind. This is the definition of objectivity. If the intellect doesn't control the mind or is not alert, then the mind will run by itself, get attached to things, get bound by things. Right? So therefore, what is it saying? You understand my nature is to be in this particular field of activity. Therefore, there's a desire. That's why you're there. Right? Now, having said that, having got into the field, you fix a goal or an ideal with your intellectual plan. with the intellect. You decide the course of action. This is what I want to do. Now I will not give in to my mind's like desires. Once I chose the path based on my mind. And the intellect directs the activity right through. So what will happen? A person is in the field and understands that the intellect has to drive the action. So when the attachment drives, what happens? You will lose your objectivity, or the intellect's thinking will be gone and you will not be productive, because the mind will give up very easily when there's a hardship, isn't it? And when the mind will be always worried and anxious. These are all the nature of the mind. But if the intellect supervises it, what it will say? By being anxious, nothing is going to happen. Let me execute the action. By being worried, nothing is going to happen. I have to execute the action. So the intellect comes and tells the mind and keeps it under control. So when you do this, what happens? You constantly tell the mind. Only if you maintain peace can you get what you want. So focus, concentrate here. So this is one. So what is objectivity? Intellect controlling the mind. Another thing is, you also tell the mind, educate the mind that do not focus on your present happiness on the future things, because you'll never be happy. So you also educate the mind to be happy with what you have. What is that you're happy about? Your body is okay. Only some pain is there, not all the pain. The body is okay. You understand? I have a family, this is manageable. I have a house, I have a vehicle, I have a job. I'm in a country where there are no problems. There are millions of things that you are enjoying already. Let the mind be happy with it. And intellect, let it plan the course of action. Then what will happen? At any moment when the mind is worried or anxious, you can tell the mind, hey, you are enjoying so many things. Why are you getting worried? Just chill. So this intellectual supervision is called objectivity. When you do that, then you can function without being attached to anything.
Okay.
So that is
So,
objectivity. Objectivity
so
is
basically,
intellect
you are,
controlling mind.
so basically you apply your intellect to overpower emotional attachment.
Correct. You don't have to stifle the emotion. You examine the emotion. If it is good, you develop it. It's okay. But always it is under the intellect supervision. That's all. See, even goodness, if you don't supervise it, even positive emotions, if you don't supervise them, it will be detrimental to somebody. In a very good heart, we pamper our children. It's detrimental to them in the long run. So you know where to put a stop and where they should put the effort, make them understand the value of things. All that it's very tough for you, because the fatherly affection comes and says, why should I do this? No, they should have that, whatever I didn't enjoy, they should enjoy. But they don't need to know the worth of it. So therefore, they have to pay for it or understand there's an effort involved in getting it, right? So this is where intellect comes and says, emotion is good, but if I unintentionally express it, it is detrimental to me and to the other person. So either positive or negative emotion needs supervision of the intellect, because intellect only is reasonable. Mind will just go. Mahesh,
Swami?
Varun is there with you or only you're there?
Swami, Varun is, I sent him to Chennai, Swami.
Oh, okay, good. No, because I want to bring in the example. That's why I want to know whether he is there. I don't want to expose. So Mahesh has kept competition for his son. Only if you do this, I will get you all these things. You understand? At least start with it. Even according to me, that is also wrong. But at least start with that. To say that you need to put in the effort to get something. If you don't put in that effort to get it, then they don't understand the value of it. Anyway, my father is there, will take care of me. My parents are there to take care of. Then see, you're spoiling them, isn't it? They don't become individuals who are self-sufficient. This is called the intellect supervising even the positive emotion. Yeah. Any questions?
Swami, one more
Yeah.
doubt, Swami.
Yes.
Swami, Vedanta, as we said already, the Vedanta's way is to learning and developing of the intellect. So, does it more of a jnana yoga path?
It is. No, but the whole point is our life needs jnanam to function. So morning you study and get these values, and when you practice it during the day, it's karma yoga, no? Because you're going to work and doing it. So only the study and analysis part is called jnana yoga. Applying the knowledge at work is called karma yoga.
And finally, the devotional aspect will also come into.
Correct.
When one,
Applying your intellect to be able to pick up some devotional practices and following that is called bhakti yoga. So which is actively involved in that particular activity decides whether it's karma bhakti jnana. That's all. If it's totally activity based, it's called karma yoga. But in everything, intellect is supervising. That doesn't mean it's all jnanam. Jnanam is only meaning study and reflection. That's all.
okay.
Yeah.
So these are just like various branches, like they are not like completely different paths as as we discussed already.
Correct. It's not. Yeah, correct.
They are all different aspects of the human life.
Our own personality. When we are
Our own
acting,
personality traits.
when we are acting, you should do with seva. When you have emotion, it should be devotion. When you are thinking, it should be the higher idea.
Intellectual
That's all.
capacity.
That's all it means.
Yes.
But
Thank you
for
so much.
everything, intellect has to be applied and mind has to be kept in control. So that's a common thing to everything. Yeah. Any other questions? If not, cancel. This is question 3. What is the role of faith in our life? How do you use it for our own? How do we use it for our own development? It's a generic question, so everybody needs to answer.
So as Swamiji mentioned, right, so faith plays a distinct role in life. Like he gives a lot of example, right? Like for example, like if you're going to an hospital and surgeon is performing an operation on you, you you are going with the faith that the surgeon is going to perform successfully. So, I mean, and if you are sending a mail use to your letter or posting a mail to one of your relatives, you are posting with the faith that the postman is going to deliver to the intended destination. So the role of faith plays a very distinct role in humanity.
Okay.
But like as I said earlier, like the 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 next step is Shraddha, where it manifests and develops into a wisdom from faith. That's where like it's the next step of faith.
Okay. Other answers?
And also like
Swamiji,
they like Swamiji mentions there's two different poems. Like one is by Christian mystic Joel, where he says like a belief in a thing that I do not know until I come to know what I believe in. That's all. What it's attitude to faith. And one other one by Rabindranath Tagore, where the bird sings as soon as the while the dawn is still dark, right? Which means like the bird knows that's going to the sun is going to rise, so there is a faith in it.
Yeah. Other answers?
So, another aspect is like doing our duties, doing our work, having faith in what we are doing will bear results. Bear results in the sense we're not bothered about the results, but just having the faith in doing one's own actions, and definitely the results are going to come anyway without so this is a practical implication I can see. Doing a good what is the best of our abilities, and doing good deeds or good actions without thinking about the results. This is how I practically find it. Faith.
Arjun?
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yes.
Uh, is faith and belief the same, or is it different?
Similar synonyms only in the context of this. Yeah.
Okay. What happens is uh, the role of faith is to surrender to the things which are beyond our aspects, or it is like we in the Vedanta, in the terms of Vedanta, we have not developed the intellect. So yes, yet we know that there needs to be the urgency to develop intellect, and it can happen only through surrender. And surrender to what? Surrender to the highest, the nature, and the guru. So only through the learned people we will be able to develop. This is what my understanding is.
Okay. So the role of faith in life is that you can't function without faith in life. That's what even Prabhu explained. I'm just explaining it further. Without faith, nothing can be done. That when you go to a hotel, that the guy will give food which is not contaminated. It's faith. That when you go in the aircraft, the pilot is certified. Faith. We are not checking the certificate, no, every time when you go in. That when you buy a product in the market, it has already been gone through quality checks. So like this, everything is faith. If I get into this, go to my house, that the building will stand. I am not a structural engineer. Even if I'm a structural engineer, I will not know because I have not certified this building. That's faith. So without faith, life cannot continue. So, but everything in this faith is backed by some corroboratory evidence. What is it? For a hotel, there's a licensing agency which checks whether these people are giving the right type of food, then gives a license. Isn't it? For this building to be given the completion certificate, the person who has to come and check the structure and find that it is okay to live. Therefore, there is a certificate. So there is a method that is being followed. I didn't follow the method, but there is a reliance on that method. So that corroboratory evidence makes my faith firm. Right? So therefore, without faith, you can't function. Now, but how do you use that faith in our life? The same comes when you come to Vedantic knowledge. These masters that have already done the work, they are coming and giving us this knowledge about the mind. And whenever they give it about the mind, you first test it with your intellect. When it works, then you take the further knowledge with faith by the application. So these two quotations are given. It's called Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is more than faith. Any activity in life, you have to start with faith. But you should not end with faith in the sense that you should not end without thinking. That is what Joel Goldsmith is saying. Faith is a belief in a thing I do not know. I didn't know this, so there's a belief. Until I come to know what I believe. That this Vedanta class will be, the teachers here in Vedanta class will be able to teach you Vedanta, you join with faith. By seeing the website or coming to know through a pamphlet or something, isn't it? So you came with faith. But having come here and attended the classes, it's not a faith anymore because you know with your intellect. What do you know? Whether they deliver or not deliver. If they don't deliver, you will not attend the class. If you are attending the class, you know that it is being delivered. So any activity in life starts with faith, but that faith will make you get into the activity, make you understand it, and once you understand, it's not faith anymore. And until you understand it, what should be your faith is Rabindranath Tagore. The beautiful thing, how the bird knows at 5 o'clock in the morning that the sun will rise at 6. A faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark. So whatever faith you have should be like the faith of that bird. It is so, so sure that the sun will rise. Similarly, you should have that faith that on the masters and scripture saying so, so sure that what they're saying is right. That will give you the conviction to pursue it. So what happens? You start anything with faith, then apply your thinking and start functioning in that or testing the knowledge and doing everything, and do not stop your effort until you gain the wisdom. This is called Shraddha. How does the faith become Shraddha? You gain the knowledge, put in all the effort, consistently, in a determined fashion until you understand it completely and live it. So this is how faith helps. Now, the other aspect of how it this is how you use faith. The other aspect of the faith is at the level of actions. You dedicate that the action and its result to the higher power. Result means today I may get a negative result, tomorrow I may get a positive result. I don't know what are all the combinations that gets there, right? To have the faith that whatever I get is based on my own action. That is also faith. Otherwise, what you will say? Poor me. Why am I going through all this? If you are going through something, it is because of your own effort. So have the faith in the God principle, in the higher power, saying that is also good for me. I need to become wiser through this experience. So surrendering the result to the higher power is faith as you're doing something. So that is also part of faith. This is how you use faith in the spiritual path and in all aspects of your life. Any questions? Okay, one quick question we'll have before we end the session. How would you assess the current state of your intellect?
Whatever actions we are doing, whether it is selfish or selfless,
Okay.
so we can assess through that.
Okay.
And with the likes and dislikes, how much of whenever we do something, how much percentage of likes and dislikes we have that in the action.
Okay.
So these are the worries and anxieties of the mind.
Okay. Other answers?
Okay. Uh, I'm lost of thought.
Hmm.
I guess I was talking on mute.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
Swamiji says at some point of time, a simple observation of your person will help evaluate your present condition.
Hmm.
Like whether he gives an example of, like you lose your pen, and then like forget, and then you lose your car. Forget that losing your car, and you go to your home and then lost your home, and then like forget losing your home, and then you met your family met with an accident. So basically, like with all the uh if you examine all the above experiences with reference to your person, that will help you to indicate the current state of your intellect.
Mahesh, you have anything to add? Sorry.
Swami, sorry, Swami. Kindly excuse me.
Okay, 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 okay.
Swamiji, I have something to
Yes, yes,
add.
Arjun. Yes, Arjun.
As Prabhu sir has told, it is like the greatest amount of loss which we can go through and come back to our normal routine is the only thing which assesses how intellectual we are.
Okay, correct.
Yeah. So basically, that's right. So to add to a message, like if the slightest loss upsets you, that means your intellect is it's in a poor condition.
Correct. So therefore, the state of the intellect is always with reference to the state of the mind. So if in other words, when the mind is completely disturbed, the intellect cannot think. That's why when you're disturbed, when somebody comes and says, I want to check something, you say, no, no, come later because I'm disturbed. I can't think clearly, isn't it? So therefore, he's just giving a measure. When you come to the class and you have missed your Reynolds pen, 5 rupees, and you go back. You're not even going to bother to call the people and say, my pen is there. Please keep it. Buy another pen. Be done with it. So, what is the loss of a pen to you? Are you disturbed? Then comes the watch. You have a watch and you kept the watch in the class for you to see the time and you forgot it there. What will you say? So, a normal watch, Casio, not Patek Philippe or Rolex or whatever, the normal watch. Then what will you say? You will call the people and say, the watch is there, keep it. Next time when I come, I'll take it. What's the loss of the watch to you? When the mind gets disturbed so much that the intellect has lost its capacity to think, that's what it means. Or the intellect is not keep able to keep the mind at rest. So pen is there, watch is there. The car you go to drive back home, the car is missing. What is the loss of a car to you? So I was giving this example in the other class. In Bombay, we parked our car and then we went somewhere and came back, the car was missing. Me and Harini were there. We immediately thought, which is the nearest traffic police station? The thought was not we lost the car. Maybe it's stored away. You understand? What is the first thought when you get when you lose the car? The car is missing. Oh, somebody. What is the loss of a car to you? Pen is there, watch is there, car is there. You go home, your house is burning. Fully paid house. What is the loss of a house to you? All this is there. You lose a family member, very, very near and dear one. What is the loss of a family to you? So he is giving different value of the product, value of the things to gauge where where the intellect will fall or not able to take the loss. That establishes your current state of intellect. So then what happens? Then what does it mean? That doesn't mean, oh, I'm in the watch level, I'm a poor person. No, no. You develop your intellect to be able to go to the car level. Then develop the intellect to go to the house level. Then develop the intellect to go to the family level. Why family is put as most? Because the pen, the watch, the car, and the house do not react. But the family person reacts with you, isn't it? So there's an action and reaction. Two-way transaction is happening. So therefore, much, much more difficult with that loss. So therefore, he says, develop your intellectual capacity with knowledge to be able to handle it. So first assess your current state, where you are, each person to themselves. Where will I fall? Then try to move to the next level. That's what is meant. Any questions?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So at one point, the Swamiji tried to explain a difference between the initiative and incentive, how the corporate like moving towards more the incentivizing rather than creating an initiative. But I'm still trying to understand, like in the current world, how would you? I mean, also he gave an example of how the Vedanta is run by through initiative. People don't they do whatever they want to, but they take an initiative and work out and stuff. But my question is like, how do you like apply this in a corporate world, like an organization where it is run through incentivizing other like employees?
So first you need to understand that when this is introduced, you can't give up incentives immediately. It's not possible because people are coming to work for money, isn't it? For remuneration. So it cannot be incentives. They are not asking us to develop initiative at the cost of incentive. But in the long term, only initiative works. So that's the whole idea. So the
Okay.
concept of initiative has to be introduced in companies. I remember there was I had the PowerPoint. I don't know where it is. The the one of the Academy of Sciences in the US, they did a research on this. They went to organizations and research and found out if people came with the objective of making money or any objective that is outside of them, right? They came and did something. What was the result that was produced? And people who came and worked with some internal, initiative to work. In other words, they came with the thing that this I like this to be in this field of activity. Whatever they had their own internal something inspiring for them to work. They found that in the larger long run, people who just had their initiative to work actually were really working for over a period of time, working with so much of inspiration and everything.
Hmm.
This is only given by Vedanta. So therefore, what does it mean? Incentive is something that is promoting action from outside. If you do this thing, I'll pay you more. So the payment is what is making the person do rather than the activity itself. So how long will it continue? Because the permanent is permanent for that person, that value of that money is going to go after some time, isn't it? So we all go and work. We are given not me, I'm saying, people are going to work, they're given a salary. When they get an increment, that happiness of the increment stays only for 2, 3 months. After the fourth month, they again want an increment. So that amount is not going to keep the person inspired anymore because from outside. What is the initiative that comes from within the person? How do you inspire them to work? The only way to inspire them to work is to be you work that way.
Okay.
If Swami did not wake up at 4 in the morning and expected the students to wake up at 4 in the morning, they will not wake up. He can still say, I have gone beyond all these things, I should not. But he didn't. He always woke up. He was the first person to be in there for prayer. So that inspired us. He lived much more idealistic life than us. That inspired us. So the leader of the organization should live a life of values. That is what will inspire them.
Yeah.
So you understand. So they have to be inspired by the ideal. Then they will look up to the person and they'll also be inspired and following that. And they should work for a larger interest. Imagine if Swami is trying to make money out of Vedanta, how will I work unselfishly? Being his student, isn't it? So he
Yeah.
worked unselfishly, selflessly. That inspired me to work selflessly. Isn't it? So therefore, you have to see what is there. So therefore, the moment that person is setting up a standard, and that standard is something which is a larger interest, that motivates everybody else in the organization to follow that. So where is a leader like that today? If there is a leader like that, then people will be inspired.
Got it.
Yeah. So therefore, through initiative is always a long-term process. It's not a short-term thing. Except that people are very easy to immediately incentivize. So it's such a short term. No, they'll see the benefit, they'll start doing it. So therefore, it's much easier. Therefore, organizations are offering. That is the reason why they're not able to retain people,
Yeah.
because the person doesn't have anything from inside that's holding him in the company. If there's something from inside that's holding him, he'll be in the company. So the earlier those Indian startups and everything, where they started with employee stock options and all, why did they want? They wanted them to feel ownership of the company, no? Which means from inside they felt they were part of it. So that's how they stayed. That is called initiative. So you can't avoid incentives because that's the way the society is set today. But you will have to side by side introduce this as these things in life. So the shift moves from incentive driven to initiative driven activity. That's all you can do.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Mahesh, you have anything? I think he's on his way. So we'll conclude
Swami,
here.
I muted Swami. Thank you. Thank you,
No
Swami.
issues. Okay. So if there are no questions, we'll conclude here. We meet in the next class. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.